Vishal Kher, President of UP, introduce our Reema ji, Mrs. Reema Mittal, who is COO of Technopark IIT Kanpur. Reema ji has 14 plus years of diverse experience of working with industry, startups, as well as academia. She's a seasoned professional with definitive experience in team management, strategy, design and implementation, project management, client handling, and media and publications. During her tenure with IIT Kanpur, she has worked on several projects, including launch of IIT Kanpur Community Radio, the social media channels, the on SIIC titled Sweat Behind the Success. She has worked with organizations like TCS and Thomson Press. I would like to welcome her and would like to hand over the session to her.
Thank you.
Can I request all the participants to kindly keep the mics on off while she's or the speakers are speaking? It's a sincere request. Otherwise, we will have difficulty in hearing. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kher, for the introduction, and thanks to TiE UP for providing us this platform today. I think this session was long due, but yes, because of certain delays, but I'm glad that finally we are able to do this session. And I would like to welcome to all the participants who have joined us for today's session. So the thing is, what brings us here? I think we all are very well aware of the situation we are in. I mean, how the economy has been badly hit, the businesses have been badly hit due to COVID pandemic, and what we are seeing is that the businesses, it's more about the survival rather than the growth. And if we talk about Indian scenario, if we talk about India, then it is the MSMEs that have taken the hardest hit. Well, for the very simple reason that MSMEs, if we have to go by the latest stats, there are 63 million MSME units in India, and they are contributing major chunk of exports, and they are contributing to the GDP of the growth, the Indian GDP. So MSMEs have taken the hardest hit in this pandemic. So if we have to go by, in the last 6 to 8 months, because of this pandemic situation, a lot of discussions have taken place, and SOCAM and CII and FICCI, I mean, all the major industry organizations that are working for the industry, they've had discussions on MSME challenges, the problems they are facing, and what all possible solutions can be there. So if we just, go by all of these discussions and that have taken place, there's just one thing that emerges out of it. And that is, the picture is not all gray. And when I say this, we really do not mean to undermine the severity of the situation. But the fact is that MSMEs have had numerous challenges. Even in the past, MSMEs had a lot of challenges. For instance, we talk about product quality, or we talk about processes, systems, indigenization or digitization. Like even now in times, if you see, even the most basic businesses are going for digitization. So modernization of their systems, and then skilling and technology upgradation. These are some of the common challenges that MSMEs always had. And even, in the past 1.5 years, we have had lots of interactions, even with the local industry, and these have come out as some of the common challenges. So now with the pandemic, I think what the situation has changed is that these challenges have become more glaring, and it has become very essential and imperative to actually address these challenges if we have to talk about the growth. So yes, survival is one, then the next what we talk about is the growth and the Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So with all these challenges, that a few of them that I just listed, I think that brings us in the picture. And when I say us, I mean IIT Kanpur, and in particular, IIT Kanpur Research and Technology Park Foundation. So And why? I mean, I think IIT Kanpur's research infrastructure and the intellectual leadership that has been built over a span of 60 years. Again, I'm not talking about 1 or 2 years, though the research park has been in operations for 1.5 years, but IIT Kanpur has been in existence for 60 years. So it has taken 60 years for IIT Kanpur to build its ecosystem. And it's a very, very expansive ecosystem. And we believe that this ecosystem can actually, if not to all of your problems, but it can definitely offer solutions to many of your problems. So that is why we have IIT Kanpur Research and Technology Park. So I would like to share a few slides highlighting what actually the research park is. What is it that we are doing? How is it? What sort of benefits are there for the industry, for all those who have joined us today? So not a great opening. It actually goes on to my thank you thing. Okay. So Technopark is actually the brand name under which we function. The actual name is IIT Kanpur Research and Technology Park Foundation. Now, before I delve into the details of this research park, it is very important for all of us to be on the same page, and that is to understand what exactly these university research parks are. So research parks is university research parks is a very, very prominent and a very established model outside India. In India, of course, it's a very new concept, an emerging concept, but whether you talk about US or you talk about Europe or you talk about Asia, China, in China, the entire electronics industry, the success of the electronic industry depends on the research parks. So what exactly are these research parks? Research parks are the physical entities, the spaces that have been set up either within the universities or in close proximity to the universities, where the industries, they actually come and set up their bases, their R&D offices. And the idea to have these industries to set up their R&D bases within these research parks is so that industry gets a close proximity and can closely work with what the academic ecosystem has to offer. It can closely work with its faculty, it can closely work with its students, it can take advantage of all the labs and the equipments that the university has built up. So the idea is to bring the industry and the academia on the same platform together with the government, because most of these research parks across the world, they are supported by the governments. So the idea is to have a very seamless flow of talent, to have a very rich exchange of ideas, to have the co-development of the technologies, co-development of these technologies. So what would be the outcome of this? If such a collaboration is happening, then what would be the outcome of it? It's very simple. I mean, it's very clearly, if I have to outline, it'll be the growth of the existing companies. So when I just listed out a few challenges of the MSMEs, then definitely some of the solutions are possible to those MSMEs. So it's not just about the survival we are talking about, we are also talking about the growth of the companies. Then it's quite possible to have the creation of the new companies. Because in the past we have, actually, I can say from experience that in the past we have hosted lots of industries, visitors from GE Aviation, from Microsoft, from Analog Devices. And what happens is that when you actually see it for yourself, the work that's being carried out in an academia in IIT Kanpur, you may have only one thing in mind. You may have a very definite, you are looking for your problems, your solutions for your existing problems, but it's quite possible that you may get ideas of innovating something new, of using the existing knowledge and the patents that we have. So it will lead to creation of new companies. And then, of course, the commercialization of the intellectual property, which, of course, I'll talk about later, that a lot of knowledge is being generated on day-to-day basis in academia. If I have to talk about IIT Kanpur, in IIT Kanpur, we have 450 plus faculty, and you name it, they are being trained in some of the best institutes of the world, be it Harvard or Caltech or Princeton, they are here. So, and then we have 7,000 plus students, and research scholars are there, and research fellows are there. So you can only imagine the amount of knowledge that's being generated every single day. And this knowledge for sure, can benefit the industry if the collaboration takes place. So that is where the research parks fit in. So if we go by a very simple TRL level, and I'm sure most of the industry people are aware of what these technology readiness levels are. The simple philosophy of a research park is to push the technology up in the value chain. So the most basic research is being carried out in academia, as you can see, the levels from 1 to 9. So 1 to 3, yes, it's being carried out in IIT Kanpur as well. But if you have to take it to the market, then it's 7 to 9 levels that we have to hit. And that is where, again, the research park comes into picture. So it brings the industry, it brings the academia together so that we can take TRL levels from 1 to 9. So that is the model on which, these university research parks function across the world. But again, there's a common saying that goes that if you are talking about, if you have seen any research park, then you have only seen one research park, because every single research park is different from the other research parks, because they are based on the needs of the local industry as well. So every research park has its own vision, has its own mission. Of course, the underlying principles will be common, but yes, the needs are different to which we address. So that brings us to the research parks in India. I would like to outline here and highlight this, that research parks is a Government of India initiative. And at the moment, there are 9 research parks in the making, including ours, and they are all in the premier IITs and IIC Bangalore as well. And the point, what I'm trying to make here is that you can understand Government of India has invested about 1,000 crores into this research park initiative. So every research park has got about 75 to 100 crores of funding from the government. So it only highlights and it only underlines the fact, the seriousness of this initiative. The investments that have gone into the making of the research parks in terms of resources, in terms of money, and in terms of vision as well. So what is exactly, IIT Kanpur Research and Technology Park? So we are an independent entity. We are a company, a not-for-profit Section 8 company, independently registered. We have our independent procedures, we have our independent policies, we have an independent board, we have an independent team. But yes, we are owned and promoted by IIT Kanpur. And we are not for profits. Again, the sole motive is to push and to accelerate and to facilitate industry academia collaborations. The idea of having an independent entity is because, so that we can speed up the processes. We can cut down on the timelines and we can really speed up the processes and to have more effective collaboration and interaction between industry and academia. So again, here are the stakeholders. I would say it's the industry, it's the academia, the entire IITK academic fraternity, and the government, because it is a government initiative. So all three are on the same platform. That's what the research parks are. So I would like to, rather than me outlining the vision, I would like to, as I said, we have an independent board, and the chairman of our board is Professor Abhay Karandikar, who is also the director of the institute. And he has a very small, in very simple words, he has outlined the vision for IIT Kanpur Research and Technology Park. And I would like to play here. I hope it's audible enough.
Rima ma'am, the video is not audible.
Is it not audible? Okay, so then maybe I'll skip this. So what he has said is that the idea of having this research park is to invite the industries, to invite the R&D organizations to set up their bases, to set up their research centers, their design centers of excellence within the research park, and very closely work with our faculty, with our students, and create products that are, the innovations that are the need of the time, that are critically needed, of critical importance. And this is going to give a boost to Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, because all we can see about, is the Make in India campaign. And again, that is why the government of India is rolling out a lot of policies to push this. Research parks, the vision is to have Make in India and a self-reliant, and to give boost to our manufacturing industry as well. So that is the vision behind the research park. Now, when we say that we are opening up through our research park, we are opening our IIT Kanpur research ecosystem. then what is it that we are offering? What is it that this ecosystem, which is again, of course, few slides cannot sum up the entire ecosystem, but it will definitely give you an idea of the depthness of the ecosystem. It will give you an idea of the serious work that's being carried out in our institute. So this one single slide sums up our entire ecosystem. Now, if you have to see that we have around 15 academic departments. We have departments in engineering and sciences, in humanities and management. We have 6 interdisciplinary programs, academic programs. We have a design department, and again, design department in our institute focuses on product design. Again, product design is one area which most of the MSMEs, rather most of the industry is going to focus on. Why? Because design and innovation is the need of the hour. We have a very established photonics center, material sciences. We have some very focused research centers that are focusing, the thematic centers of excellence that are focusing on very selective areas of research. Then we have a large number of central research. We have a large number of, sorry for this. We have a large number of central research facilities that again, are will open up for you through Technopark, will open up for you for collaboration. We have the Center for Material Characterization, we have advanced imaging facilities, wind tunnel, ion beam, HPC facilities. There are a lot number of facilities that are available for use. We have, again, Incubation Center does not need any introduction. I'm sure most of you must have heard of some of the very successful startups that have come out of us, that have come out of IITK, of our Incubation Center. So we have a very, very established and prominent technology incubator. We have a very established IPR and legal cell. Again, MSMEs, when it comes to patents, this is again another requirement that we have realized over our through our interactions with the industry, that IPR would be the need for the MSMEs, to have knowledge about the patents and patent creations and how to apply. So that, again, we have a very, very established IPR cell. So this is our research ecosystem. And now to add on to that, we have a research park. Though we have been operational only since March 2019, 1.5 years in operation, but yes, it completes our ecosystem. These are some of the, though technology research park is technology agnostic, and you have any problem, and if you're looking for experts in any area, it's quite possible that we have at least one of that experts in with us, because we are talking about a very, very multidisciplinary department here. We have departments and interdisciplinary programs. But yes, these are some of the research areas where IIT Kanpur is taking the lead, like for instance, cybersecurity, or we have flexible electronics. We have a National Center of Flexible Electronics, which is funded by the Government of India, and a large cutting edge work is going on in flexible electronics area. We have UAVs and environment. Again, most of this research study you must have read, recently, a lot of being covered in the media as well. The work which is being carried out at IIT Kanpur, the research in terms of environment. We have manufacturing, we have chemical and bioengineering and medtech technologies. Again, another area which is doing very well and where we have experts in our ecosystem. So these are some of the centers of research excellence. I'll quickly flip through some of these slides. Like, as I said, we have a Center of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology. We have Center for Environmental Sciences. We have a Center for Cybersecurity and Cyber Defense, and a National Center for Flexible Electronics. And this Center of Nanoscience, again, it has an excellent track record of collaboration and innovation. Rather, what I would like to add on to here is that eSpin, the masks that you are talking about, the N95 masks that have come out of IIT Kanpur, that company is a spin-off of Center of Nanoscience. So Sandeep Patil, I'm sure you must have read about him, and he's a well-known person in the TiE chapter circles as well. So his company is an outcome of the Center of Nanoscience, and he continues to very actively, engage with the IIT Kanpur ecosystem. Then we are talking about Center of Excellence for Defense Technologies. Again, Bundelkhand Defense Corridor, as we all know, the center, IIT Kanpur, is the knowledge partner for the defense sector. And we have a Center of Excellence coming up where, again, the idea is to give a push to the indigenous development of the defense technologies. We have an interdisciplinary center for cybersecurity and cyber defense. We have a national center for flexible electronics. Again, at this moment, the center is collaborating with 14 plus industries and doing some cutting edge work. We have a very high-tech Imagineering lab where you can, test and verify and prototype your ideas. And so it's basically a prototyping and tinkering facility that we have with us. So these all, just a few slides, of course, cannot do justice to the IITK research ecosystem, but they are good enough to, to show and to create an impression of the depthness of the ecosystem that we are talking about. And all of this will be accessible, so through Research Park, what we're trying to do is we are trying to make this accessible to MSMEs. We are trying to make this accessible to all the industries that are ready to collaborate with. At the same time, a lot of technologies, patented technologies are available with IIT Kanpur. We have a patent database of 600, and a very, very few number, maybe 50 or so have been commercialized. So again, it's an untapped, I would say an untapped database for MSMEs to look into, because it's quite possible that you are looking for some technology and that technology already exists with IIT Kanpur. So how about, to make use of this patent database and to license and commercialize some of these and take them to the market. So this is, some of the technologies that have been very successfully transferred to the industry in the past. So I will just, I'll just sum up that what's in it for you. So what's in it there for the industry if they collaborate with us? So these are some of the, the highlights that you get access to our intellectual capital and expertise. So you don't only can take advantage of our faculty, but you can also work with our students. And again, one of the speakers here is going to shed more light on how he and his company is making use of it. So you can work with our students in different modes as part-timers, as interns. You can access all our research facilities, and again, they are available to you at a very, very subsidized rate. The third, and which is a very, very attractive feature, is possibility to jointly apply for government grants, because government now has rolled out a lot of schemes where they have made it mandatory for the industry to have an academia partner. And in these schemes, partial funding comes from the government. So yes, industry has to be ready for funding, but the partial funding comes from the government, which reduces the burden of funding on the industry. So there is a possibility to jointly apply for government grants as well. And then, of course, we have access to computing infrastructure, to our laboratories, networking possibilities. But again, another very important benefit is opportunity for your employees to upskill themselves, that is to enroll in our courses and workshops and seminars, because throughout the year, IIT Kanpur's Center for Continuing Education organizes workshops and seminars, and even Technopark throughout the year. In the last 1 year, we have had 5 major events, and special interest group meets where we had participants from Microsoft, from Wipro, from Tech Mahindra. So it's like an exposure for the industry, and it's also a great opportunity for the MSMEs, for their employees to actually learn and move ahead. So now the question is, how do you avail these benefits? How do you collaborate with us? We have 2 very prominent modes of collaboration. One is setting up R&D centers. So one option for the companies is that you set up, your office within Technopark premises and work closely. You become a part of the ecosystem and you work closely with us. You work closely with IIT Kanpur, all the faculty and the students. But again, we also know, we are very well aware of the fact that neither we are in a position to offer space to all the industries, to all the companies, and nor all the companies would be interested in. Because most of the times, when we talk about MSMEs, most of them, they have on and off problems that you want to maybe, for 2 or 3 of your problems, you would like to collaborate with us. So then, keeping that factor in mind, we have rolled out our affiliate memberships, annual affiliate memberships. And through our annual memberships, you can avail the same facilities that we are offering to our resident companies. So these are 2 most prominent modes of collaborating with us. So now I'll quickly, because we are already, it's already 4:30 and we have 3 more speakers lined up who are going to join me. So I will just show you the kind of the infrastructure we are talking about here. This is the building that we are operating out of now. I'm sitting in the Technopark conference room only. So we have at the moment, this building, we have 2 floors with us and 4 more floors. So I would say just roughly 20,000 square feet of space, which will be available to us by January. So if you really are interested in and seeing and exploring the possibilities of setting up your office, then definitely, you can contact us. All the details would be made available to you. So this is our a sort of I would say, an additional facility that we have with us. But the upcoming phase 1 infrastructure that will be ready in another 2 years' time is this. So I'll just play a walkthrough what I'm talking about to give you an idea of what sort of an infrastructure IIT Kanpur is building, and it will be ready in 2 years of time. So this is a very, very well-planned building, 2.5 lakh square feet of building, and it's a complete green architecture that we are talking about. And units of about 500 to 10,000 square feet will be made available to the industry. So, and it'll be having every possible facility, the conferencing facilities, meeting rooms, common areas, even the, keeping in mind the current needs, it'll have a crush, an ATM and cafeteria, everything. So it's quite a well-planned building. The foundation stone has already been laid, and if we have to go by the timelines, then I think it'll be ready in another 2.5 years of time. But yes, advanced bookings we have opened up for this building as well. Okay, so that pretty much brings me to the end of what I had to sort of share on Technopark. At the moment, we have 7 companies with us who have their R&D basis. We have VTOL Aviation India. We have Canopy Techno Solutions. Then we have GCRS. GCRS is again, it works in the areas of geoclimate risk solutions. And this company has just joined us with its base in Hyderabad, but yes, they have set up their office here. And the rest 4 companies, I'm sure you may be aware of it, they are all Kanpur based. We have AR Thermosets, we have Threads India Limited, and Jet2Plast and Dataman. And we're really thankful to these companies for believing in us, because we also, when we were starting out, we were very new, and they believed in us and they decided to set up their bases here. So this is about our resident companies, and we have 2 affiliate members who have just joined us, and one of them will be joining me for this session. So yeah, so this is pretty much about Technopark and what we have to offer. And before I invite the other 3 speakers with me, if you have any questions, or maybe, Ankita, you can tell me if you have to take questions at the end, so I can invite the other 3 speakers.
Yes, I guess the questions at the end. You can.
Okay, so now I would like to invite the 3 speakers who will join me today. We have Mr. Kunal Kasera. Hi, Kunal. Kunal, yeah. So Kunal represents True Farm Corporation. He's one of the affiliate members. His company has taken an affiliate membership with us. Then we have Mr. Anuj Avasti, who represents Canopy Techno Solutions. Hi, Anuj, are you there? I cannot see you.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, hi, Anuj. And then we have Mr. Ansar Alone. Ansar represents VTOL Aviation India Limited. Hi, Ansar.
Hey, ma'am, how are you?
Yeah, good. Well, let me tell you, it's very difficult to catch hold of Ansar. So I'm glad that on this session we have Ansar with us. So, and if possible, it's good if Ansar and Anuj, you can switch on your videos. Then it'll make it more.
Yeah, ma'am, I just switched on. I'm traveling actually.
Okay, and Anuj.
Yes,
all 3 are there.
I'm all
Okay, I cannot. Yeah. Okay, great. So, we'll have, how about you guys introduce yourselves, just a brief introduction and about your companies. I think that'll be good to start with. So maybe we can start with Anuj.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Myself, Anuj from Canopy Techno Solutions. And it's my pleasure to be here and share some of my experiences And yes, we have been affiliated with IIT Kanpur for a long time. I think we started working on our startup since 2013 onwards. Product which we have come up with was actually developed this product on my backside. Everyone can see. This is a product which we have commercialized successfully, and now we have I think covered more than 40% market of the India, and now we are trying to take it to global also, and we have more products in the line. So this product has been developed in IIT Kanpur, and then the phases came like behind SIAC Incubation Center, where our company got incubated. There we did more practices, like started marketing, started designing and development of this product. After this particular commercialization, in last year, there was a proper commercialization. We started selling our products and jumped into the real market. Now we are collaborating with this Technopark IIT Kanpur, and our office space is actually situated there. So this is our company is actually belonging to, we have two faculty mentors with us, Dr. Shri Shivakumar and Dr. Rajganesh Pala. They are from IIT Kanpur. They are our scientific mentors. We have one of the IIT Kanpur alumni, our team member, Mr. Joy Bhattacharya. So we are actually a group of researchers who have dedicated their efforts to build up this particular company. So this is wider, broader introduction for the company. This instrument which we can see, I will just add on a small introduction about it. This is called electrochemical station, and before we jumped into this particular field, there was no company, Indian company, which was doing serving in this particular area. We are, in a way, we can say that we are the first Indian company who is coming up with electrochemical instrumentation and the services commercially. So this is the first potential stat galvanostat or electrochemical analyzer which has been developed in India and has been commercialized also, and it has a very huge wider applications. You see any of the research lab, be it chemistry, physics, material science lab, nano material development lab, battery testing or battery research labs, all on sensing, biosensing labs, all the laboratories, this is the fundamental instrument they need it. So we have placed successfully into the market. We are getting lots of customers, and we have good, happy customers with us. So this is a short of introduction from my side. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so Kunal, how about you? Let's have a quick introduction so that we can have some discussions on certain aspects of Technopark as well. Yeah, Kunal, on please.
Yeah. Good evening. First of all, thank you for having me here to discuss our experiences with Technopark. So to give you guys a short introduction about our company, it's called the True Farm Company, and we have a vision of re-engineering our current food systems via vertical farmings and controlled environment agriculture. To talk mainly about my association with Technopark and how
Kunal, sorry to interrupt you. Let's hold on to that. Let me have these introductions, and then maybe we can start with our this discussion. So Ansar, how about you? Yeah.
How are you? Hi everybody. I'm Ansar Khan. I'm currently heading the research and development. So we started this company by collaborating with IIT Kanpur in 27 as an industry academia collaboration initiative. And later in 2017, we became a part of Technopark. And since then, our majority of our research team has been operating from Technopark only. And with our research, with our manufacturing facility established at Mumbai, and our manufacturing team stays in Mumbai, and basically research and development happens in IIT Kanpur only. We are able to develop technology. We are able to do prototyping by utilizing most of the resources of IIT Kanpur, like Imagineering Lab, 4i laboratory and all. And we do real flight tests at IIT Kanpur facilities, like our flight laboratory where we have a runway. And yes, we in this short span of time, we have been able to build more than 7 aircraft platforms ranging from the weight class of say 2 kg class to 75 kg weight class. And I'm proud to say that they were built in India, indigenous technology with less than 30%, 35% of imported tech. And thank you.
Okay, great. So, so I think I can ask, more specific questions. Like I know VTOL is a very VTOL, or if it is Canopy, the ideation to prototyping to commercialization, everything has taken place in IIT Kanpur, and these two are our resident companies. So, but since I cut, I didn't let Kunal speak. So Kunal actually, can actually is from the local industry, and he's our affiliate member as well. So maybe Kunal, you can share some of your, because for last, I think since June onwards, we have been interacting with you. I mean, before that, we started our interactions. So maybe, you can, how has been your experience of interacting with Technopark, and what is it you think, how you are trying to leverage our strengths or IIT Kanpur strengths as such? Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to highlight here that Technopark as an idea, as a particular idea, is giving a lot of structure and process to any ideas that any entrepreneur has. Personally, in the past 6 to 8 months of time, that's what at least I felt, that any entrepreneur who's looking to commercialize any idea, Technopark, the solutions, the working with professors and working with students is giving a lot of structure and a lot of process to these ideas. And to talk about my particular experience, we started off to research about biodegradable packaging material, sustainable leather, and now we're trying to build proprietary technologies in the vertical farming space with Technopark. So I was completely baffled when I interacted with, as Rima had earlier mentioned, the intellectual leadership that is present at IIT Kanpur, that their way of working and their professionalism into research and development was never heard of in, I believe, Kanpur. And also, since I also manage my family business, and we see that while working with consultants, it is a quite different approach that I found, at least with Technopark, when they take up a particular problem or they want to find up a solution to it. And one more thing I would like to highlight about Technopark and Remind team is that their particular onboarding process. That whenever an MSME comes or wants to be a part of Technopark and they come up with a problem, their onboarding process is very smooth. I would say that because they act as a very good bridge between the professors, the students, and the MSMEs who are looking for a problem, who are looking for a solution to their problems. So yeah, that has been in a nutshell my experience with Technopark. And one particular message for all MSMEs or small industries who would who are into this webinar or who are looking forward to collaborate with Technopark is, I believe that to develop your own proprietary technologies. I mean, in this very competitive business space we are in right now, to develop proprietary technologies, I feel that is the key in the coming decade to become business leaders or migrate ourselves from being micro and small industries to becoming bigger corporations who can provide more employment and generate more revenue. So at the core of it, as I said, creating proprietary technologies, Technopark is helping us in doing that.
Okay, good. That's Kunal. There's one question I would like to ask you, because as we have been interacting, as I said, in the last 1.5 years, we have had lots of interactions, and with the local industry, we hosted the first outreach event that we hosted. Was for the local industry, and that actually gave us an idea that this industry is in need. I mean, industry definitely wants to collaborate, but not necessarily want to put up their space in Technopark, put up their base in Technopark. How about in terms of investments? Because you have been interacting with us, and you have taken our affiliate membership, our entire financial model as well. Do you think it's worth investing in, or do you think our cost? Because this is one thing that often the question that's being asked by the industry, that the costs are high, whereas I believe that the costs are not high, and the costs are less if you see the long-term return on investments. What are the returns that you get? So what is your take on that?
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that people, when it comes to thinking about research and development, and thinking about collaborating with IIT Kanpur, people have a perception that that the costs involved are very high. But if we think about it, I mean, I don't really feel that the cost involved are really high, because it is not about incurring that cost for that particular year. It is about incurring that cost for a longer term goal that your company wants to achieve. And I'm pretty sure that if you are going somewhere out to build any kind of technologies, or to to solve any of your problems, this is the cost that you will find the most minimal. That at least, speaking to a lot of consultants in our industries and different industries, and trying to interact with other, you can say, vendors who do help you in building technologies or solving problems. This is the least cost that is available in the market. And more importantly, rather than the cost, I would say that the brand factor of IIT Kanpur, and the ethics on which on which Technopark and the professors work, you would never find something like that outside with a consultant or an outside vendor.
I just want to add on to what you have said. One thing, that when you said the costs are minimal, you won't believe, so many industries we have interacted with. I mean, we interacted, and I know that how much of the money is being invested in importing the stuff. I mean, without naming any industry, I would say that even in Kanpur, we have interacted with so many industries. You are putting in a lot of investment in importing technologies from outside, or investing in the institutes, academic institutes, or your collaborations outside. Now, what we are proposing as a research park and as the institute IIT Kanpur, we are proposing, how about you make the same investments here? I mean, the idea is, you take one step forward, we are going to take two steps forward. We will make sure, to the best of our ability, to offer solutions to you, the most efficient and the most cost effective solutions. But then the thing is, taking that one step forward. So that is why we are having this entire session. So maybe, Anuj and Ansar as well, because Ansar, VTOL Aviation has base in Mumbai. And Canopy Techno Solutions, the best part is that Canopy was earlier incubated in SIIC. And then from our incubator, they moved to the research park. They could have actually shifted, their operations outside, because again, this is another thing that's being often, highlighted, that Kanpur has a location disadvantage, or how about, setting up in metro cities or Noida. But then I'm sure Anuj can answer that. That first is my question, because it's how an incubator differs from a research park. Very, very quick, because most of the industries, I think most of the people get confused in these two different entities, and they're very separate. And why is it that, you even thought of, or what, what is the USP of having it in a research park rather than just going out in any metro and setting up your office there? So Anuj, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Rimaji, for picking up such a nice, because indeed we were running our company in sometimes. Then we shifted to a sort of, when we were developing this, the company was existing and we were some R&D in lab. And then we shifted, we got included in SIIC. We had experience of incubation center. We developed few things, and now we are in Technopark. So I have gone through this particular, league, their excellent phases and the places of the company. So I will pick up 3 points. The one thing is the mindset. So for example, once we were in startup, this incubation center, so we were getting good facilities. The rent was low. There was, of course, indeed, IIT Kanpur support. But the mindset was that we are a startup there. And we were always among the startups who are doing lots of hard work. But the key point where we have to jump into the market and exactly face the real world challenges. So that is one mindset. So like, if you are among the startups, then your mindset will be according to startups. But if you are sitting among the industries, your surroundings, the industry, then that mindset is very much important. So that's how we decided that we will graduate from incubator and we will go into some more industrial environment. And at that time, luckily, we found a techno to be coming into the IT company, joined them, and then we found out it was a thing which we found the this thing and some limitations need a bigger, maybe may not be a bigger space, number of end who need so even this once you reach to suppose you reach it's like if you need a bigger space because it's on simply cost basis.
Anuj, your network I think is very poor. Not able to hear you clearly.
Rimaji,
Yeah.
this is Vishal. I think there are some questions on the costs to be able to get space or associate. If you could share that with the viewers,
Actually, I was
they'll get an idea about.
No, I was deliberately avoiding the financials because I thought when it comes to the financial details, we can just mail it to all the participants. I mean, all the collaterals, everything can be just mailed.
Fair enough.
Right. Okay.
So if you can share
other
your
than that, I
contact
think,
details with the.
Of course, I'll share. And rather, we can also open the floor for other participants if they have any questions, because then we can answer those questions if they have any.
Gee, I think that'll be a great idea. I can also share my experience with my project that has been taken up, and we are doing manually, and it's a very labor-intensive process. So we approached Technopark, and we were allocated a professor, Professor Shantanu Bhattacharya, who's taken up the project. It was supposed to be completed in the month of March. Our working prototype was demonstrated, but unfortunately, due to COVID, it has got delayed. But today itself, I've spoken to him, and he says they are working on the final this thing, and next week we should be able to. And the automation is that they have conceptualized is in a really very nice way of looking at the problem. Absolutely different way of looking at the problem, and I'm very happy with the results that we have got till now. So the industry academy interface has really helped.
Actually, Mr. Kher, what I would like to say is that the challenges, will be there. I mean, though the kind of what I have shared and what the experiences these three people, of course, there are challenges as well. But the idea is that, those challenges, because we are also as a company, we are like a company, we are like any other startup company. And this initiative is also new. But yes, you can see that we are very, very passionate about it. We are very determined about it. And when we say we, it means the entire IITK administration and management, and of course the Technopark team. So it is again more about building trust. It takes time. There will be hiccups, there will be challenges, but ultimately we are very, very confident that we'll be able to satisfy the industry, and we'll be able to help them out in their in addressing their challenges. So that's because, of course, the picture is not always that rosy that we paint, but yes, there will be challenges, but yes, as I said, we are quite determined. Yes. So any questions, Mr. Kher? We can, if anybody would like to ask any participants if they have any questions.
Yeah, hi. My name is Amit.
Yeah, hi.
We manufacture. We manufacture aluminum sections, aluminum profiles. So my question was, actually we were planning to just making the profiles. So there are many systems which we think that could be developed in India, which are not there. So how could we go about it, and like what is the first step, and like how to come and meet you, and
Okay. So, Mr. Amit, what I would suggest is that you drop us a mail. We will share all our contact details, and you drop us a mail. Sorry, did you say anything, Mr. K?
No, ma'am.
No. So you just drop us a mail, Mr. Amit, and you also highlight the kind of the problem statement you have. I mean, the problem that you are facing, and we will definitely set up a call and we'll take it from there. So, but just do mail it to us, and then we'll set up a call with you, and we'll take
I would
it.
always also like to say, if you need, if you have a requirement of say aluminum section, and we are looking some preferred vendors, so we are obviously there. So in Kanpur itself. I hope you would be looking for that too. So
Okay.
that would help us in both developing our capabilities and
Okay.
going forward.
Okay. Noted.
Absolutely.
We have noted that.
Can I come in here?
So.
Well done, Amit sir.
Can I come in here for a minute?
Yeah, Ms.
Yes, please,
So
sir.
we have Professor Agarwal with us. He's the professor in charge who handles this entire initiative. So yes.
Yeah, so I think Rima, excellent presentation, and I'm very happy to see the interaction. But you know, the point that has not been highlighted is that here, you know, Technopark does not really mean that you give us a problem and we will solve it. No, that's not the motive. The motive is that you come up with a problem, we will connect you to our professors, our students, and then we solve the problem jointly.
Yeah, right.
So it's your problem and we solve it jointly. We are not saying that we will solve it independently. We are not contractors as such or consultant as such. So basically the idea is that you have a problem, you come to us, define that problem. Technopark team will try to connect you to the right person who will be interested in solving that problem. That could be a student, that could be a staff member, that could be a faculty member, depending on, and generally, you know, faculty member costs are relatively high. So particularly for MSME, you know, the cost could be really high. I mean, we don't get into the costing between the professor and the Technopark. That is, I mean, and the industry client. It is between them. But to solve this costing problem, what we have done is we have come up with a solution that, you know, we want to involve our undergraduate students, postgraduate students, even PhD students to work on your problems along with you to give you a solution on an hourly basis. So the amount of, you know, time that they put in, there is a certain costing. So they will be whatever time they spend, you pay them. And of course, I mean, we try to give you a solution as best as we can, depending on the capability of the students, depending on the problem, whether it is really solvable, up to what extent we can solve. Sometimes the problem gets solved completely. Sometimes it doesn't get solved. So again, it's a package deal. So the thing is that, you know, what we have tried to address here in the Technopark is that, you know, for 60, 70 years that we have been in existence as independent India, industry has been at a certain level, their language is different. Academia is at a certain level, we are happy publishing papers in scientific journals and doing nothing for the industry. Industry, whenever wants something, they look at consultants from outside and they pay exorbitantly. So we are trying to bring both together. Now, if we come to the same level, then you have to speak little bit, you have to try to speak our language and we have to try to speak your language. So the problem, the solution to the problems will be a joint solution. And Technopark is just a institution to facilitate this interaction. So this is just one
yes
point that I think Rima probably missed, and I just wanted to augment it.
Yeah, it's a very valid point. So thanks, Professor Agarwal, for adding on to that. Actually, I have not highlighted, you know, how even I didn't ask Kunal, I didn't ask Ansar, how they are actually, you know, taking advantage of our student workforce. So, but again, the time is almost up. So maybe in another session or so. So.
Yes, I think what Professor Agarwal said was absolutely right, because in isolation, the faculty or the people there at IIT Kanpur cannot provide a solution.
Yeah.
Because we have to get involved in the process.
Yeah.
We have a hands up from Mr. Dinesh Pal. Dinesh, do you have a question?
Yeah, actually, I just want to know, is there any eligibility to come up with this idea? Like, if I'm not a IT guy, so I'm a public health officer. So is that I have any problem? So I can come Technopark or not? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for a particular solution for your company, then sure, you can come. You can engage with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ankita, I mean, how should we do it? I mean, shall I share our contact details and some of the marketing collateral that we have? We can share it with you, and if you can
Yes,
share
I
it with
can circulate.
you will share it with the participants, right?
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, then I think because many of them are sending messages, so we will share all our contact details.
Ma'am, I think.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. You can just, if you have your screen sharing on,
You can
just
share
put
it.
your email ID and phone number on that.
Okay.
And people can note it down. Why do we want to create another
Okay, sure.
level?
Sure,
There's
I'll
no
do
point.
that.
Yeah. Vishalji, I think let us give these companies a little bit of idea about what kind of costs are involved. It's a very valid question, and I think that should be made clear, I think. So
Yes,
maybe
absolutely.
let me try to give you a 1 minute idea. So as Rima has mentioned, we are for MSME, there are two models. One is that you can set up your R&D center here in Technopark. So the cost in that case, we have prepared a 5-star facility here. Building is absolutely highly green and top-notch facility, which we are paying through our nose. I'm spending about 100 crores to make that building, which will be ready by February 2022. Right now, we have 4 floors available, which can accommodate about 50 to 60 clients actually, and we are trying to recruit as many clients as we can in the existing facility that will be available in January. So the costing for our space is about 55 rupees square feet on a super built up area basis, which is 25% above the carpet area. And then you have to pay GST and actual rentals of AC and electricity charges and data charges. Those are on actual basis whatever you spend. So this is as far as the space for setting up R&D. But I think many of the MSMEs may not be interested in the beginning to go for it. So we have worked out another cheaper solution for MSMEs, and in that solution, we are providing membership to MSMEs depending on their annual turnover. And I think, Rima, what are those numbers?
Yes, so we have, So we have 4 levels under which you can avail our memberships. So level 1, where the turnover is up to 50 lakhs, the membership cost is 60,000 a year. That's the annual membership cost. So then the next level is where the turnover is 50 lakhs to 2 crores. The cost is 90,000. And then the third level, where we have 2 to 5 crore bracket, the cost is 1,20,000. That's right. And then we have the last, that is more than 5 crores, 5 plus. And that is 3 lakhs. That I need to confirm. I think it's 3 lakhs. That's the costing we have.
So basically, the cost to MSME to become member is 5,000 rupees a month, 7,500 rupees a month, 10,000 rupees a month, and 25,000 rupees a month, depending on your budget, annual budget. And we guarantee to connect you with our faculty members to minimum, three problems of you. We can connect you to either students and faculty members. And in this pricing, you can even sometimes it is required that you stay, you work in collaboration with the faculty member. So we even provide desk space within this subscription. So in a year we give about 30 days of desk space, so your person can come and he will have a desk for 30 days that you can avail any time during the year, and then you don't have to pay anything extra for it. And then of course, whatever solutions you want from professors, of course you have to talk to them and look at what their how much consultancy they want. students, do you have the numbers for the students?
Yeah,
Hourly rates, Rima?
Yes, yes. So for the undergrads, we have 300 per hour. And again, they can invest in about 10 hours a week. Then we have for masters, we have 400.
That's
Which
a
is again
limitation put by the institute.
Yes, actually.
That's a
So
limitation
again,
the institute puts. They are not supposed to work for more than 10 hours in a week outside academics. That's.
And then for the masters, it's 15 hours. And for PhD, where we costing is 500 plus, which is 20 hours a week they can put in. So that's the, the costing involved.
So, I mean, if you have a PhD, I mean, if you look at it, suppose you have a PhD employee with you. Suppose this guy you employ for 8 hours, his costing will be only 1.2 lakhs rupees on a 30 working day basis. If it is 25 working day, it will be 1 lakh rupees. So it is, I mean, you will not get a PhD for 1 lakh rupees to work for you. So it is just that, the student should have some incentive to work. And I can tell you that students are very, very excited to work on live industrial problems. And we are hoping that MSME, students are going to be our mainstay for solving MSME problems. And also another benefit is that, IIT Kanpur has equipment worth 2,000 crores at least. So if you come as an industry directly, the rates that we charge to a student and to industry, there is a factor of 10. That means if I have to do a SEM, which costs 1,000 rupees to me, it will cost you, I mean, if it is going to cost me 200, it is going to cost 2,000 to the industry. But if you are a member of Technopark, either through affiliate model or as a, space taking member, your cost will be same as student. So what my student is going to pay, the industry is also going to pay the same. So it's a highly, highly subsidized rate. And that's a big attraction for using some of our characterization facilities for our, engineering infrastructure.
Any more questions from any of the attendees?
Well, Rima ji.
Yes.
Yeah. So one thing which I wanted to add, I think one of a very good point Avinash sir has added into this. I also felt in this that if we try to actually cater some of our problems, there are things, according to my experience, there are few things available in IIT Kanpur which make it very cost efficient. For example, we developed some materials and we wanted to get it characterized. So using IIT Kanpur's facility is one of the very good deal. I mean, being here, we have used the instruments which are worth crores of rupees, but we paid few thousand rupees and got our materials characterized into this, and it benefited us a lot. So this is side where using IIT Kanpur's facilities like 4i lab, glass blowing, number of facilities when we can use at a low cost, and it adds lots of benefit into this because the kind of expertise they are having, and we have been using it since last 1 year or so far for a long time.
Yeah.
So this
Actually,
is one
what I would like to add on here is that when it comes to the research facilities, we already have a very expansive ecosystem. And what Technopark is also going to do, or we are planning to do, is to collaborate with prominent incubators in the country. So the idea is to, open up their facilities as well, and open up our facilities for their startups and open up their facilities as well for our companies. And it's a very, very simple philosophy is to further expand the ecosystem, R&D ecosystem in the country. Because for instance, these incubators like Biotech Park in Lucknow, I'm sure it has some facilities which are worth, which will be of great benefit to the industry. So I think we are trying to, slowly build up and further expand this ecosystem. And another thing, what Professor Agarwal has mentioned is about the student engagement. And I said, I'll just point out VTOL Aviation. I don't know if Ansar is still logged in here. So VTOL Aviation, is if you see their office, they're just 3 or 4 employees. Ansar can actually tell it correctly, but they have in a big way, interacted and engaged with our students. I think that's one company that has really beat the part-timers or the interns or the BTechs or undergrads. So maybe Ansar can quickly tell us about that.
Yeah, ma'am, I would like to say most of our employees currently at some level may have been connected to IIT Kanpur. Either they have been students or maybe project employees or maybe research scholars, they have been employed. More than 3 students, I believe, we have inducted as full-time employees. And I would say 60% of our crew, more than 20 members, we have taken from our project employees directly. I would attribute this to the reason that in Technopark, since we were like industry people, we were VTOL employees, we were able to directly communicate with the employees which were hired from the IITK project, and students were directly involved. We were directly, communicating with them, solving the problems with them, the research scholars and all. And we directly inducted them into the company. So we never ran out of, brain, or we never ran short of, what do you call, resources in terms of workforce.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I would really say that the facilities we have had access to, people may think that IIT Kanpur is in Kanpur. There is no much industry there, but I would say that IIT Kanpur itself is self-sufficient to do many things. See, we can build, we can do prototyping, we can design in a calm environment away from the city without any distractions. We can design stuff. We have got facilities in IIT. I don't think other IITs may have, like a fully functional airstrip. We
That
may
IIT
say that
Kanpur is the only
airstrip.
one, right?
Yeah. Fully functioning airstrip. It's not only about airstrip that you can test your aircraft, but you can test your other systems. Apart from direct aircraft systems, we have tested our avionics to a level that we can get them characterized in the radio laboratories, IIT Kanpur, do EMI, EMC testing. Then we can check the range in real time by putting them on a glider and fly the glider 40 kilometers away, and we say, okay, our radios work to 40 kilometers. So all in all, IIT Kanpur is resource rich. And I will not talk about cost because I don't get involved much into costs. But yeah, they are easily available. You can avail them easily.
Great. Thanks, Ansar. So Ankita, I think maybe Professor Agarwal, if there's something missing, then maybe, you can add on. Otherwise.
I will just add on a few things. Like somebody was asking, they can come whether they're eligible or not. Everybody is eligible. Whoever needs a technical help, we have open arms. You can come to us. So that is one point. Then, one person was asking about channels, aluminum channels. So we have excellent group in manufacturing science. If you need any help, please contact Technopark team. We will try to connect you with the right person. And we'll try to make sure that you are satisfied. That is our goal.
Yeah.
However, we don't have a magic wand that we can solve all the problems. Obviously, problems are problems. We can try with all honesty to solve them. But some problems, we are able to solve. Some we are not able to solve. So that, that is a little bit of an uncertainty factor. And you also are very well aware that not every problem is solvable. But we honestly try to solve your problem. And we will do that. Right. And then, as far as, supplying of this is concerned, so obviously, we are in no position. If you become a part of Technopark, the best part is that, once you join Technopark in any capacity, right now, all of you are outside the Technopark system. You're outside IIT. So you're talking like an outsider. But once you affiliate with us, you are no longer outsider. You are insider. So you get access to everybody. You become a part of IIT ecosystem, and you can then make connections to supply or do whatever. There are so many intangible benefits which can't be quantified in words. So that's all. That's the last word from my side, and we welcome all of you.
Okay. So I think, Ankita, then we can just wrap up the session.
Yes.
If possible, please share contact details.
I have just messaged this to everyone on chat.
Okay.
I have shared the email IDs as well as the phone numbers.
Okay.
Anurag, I'll share it with you. I have it all the
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Angita. Okay.
Hello. Good evening. I would like to ask a question. Hello.
Please go ahead, Imran.
Please. Actually, I was asking was like, what is the difference between tying up with the IIT directly and going through Technopark? What would be the advantage going through Technopark?
So, Professor Agarwal, would you like to answer this question?
No, I did not understand. I mean, I did not hear this clearly. Can you repeat
Sorry.
the question?
What is the difference? What is the advantage of going connecting to IIT through Technopark, and not directly?
Okay, let me tell you. Officially, we are a Section 8 company.
Yes.
Which is 100% a private company, but 100% shared are owned by IIT Kanpur. So to put it simply, we are the marketing wing of IIT Kanpur to interact with industry. If there is an industry which want to connect, you are of course free to go to the website and find out, whichever professor you want to connect. That option was available for 70 years, is available, and will continue to be available. But if you go through Technopark, then we will make sure that we will connect you to the right person, and we will follow up on whether your problem is being resolved or not resolved to your satisfaction. Is that a satisfying answer?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any more questions from anybody? Or we can take that offline. I'll share the details of Technopark over mail to whomsoever requires. At the end, thank you very much, Rimaji, for the informative session. Thank you very much, Avinash sir, for explaining on the details and benefits that SMEs can avail from Technopark. I would also like to thank Mr. Anil Amasti, Mr. Kunal Kasera, and Mr. Ansar Lone for sharing the experiences. Thank you all the attendees. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for putting this webinar together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you, Ankita ji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
हाँ अंशुल बताओ क्या कह रहे थे